You guys seeing this? Okay. Bloodhunt. It's a Vampire the Masquerade game. I was just looking at this because I was trying to figure out. I think there's some kind of sequel to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines coming out, but this is not it. This is a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt. This is a free-to-play battle royale game, which I don't know, maybe I'll try out, but honestly I'm not that interested in. But I'm making this video about the system requirements because as I was looking through this game, I just was like, okay, release date to be announced. What is this? Scrolling down, I looked at the system requirements, and the minimum system requirements on this game are a GTX 1070 or RX 5600 XT. Now notice their recommended requirements are a 2060 Super or a 5700 XT. So like, that's not even that big of a gap between the low end and the high end. And I was like, what? This game must just have the greatest graphics of all time. So I jumped in and I started looking for videos of this thing. And I mean, they've got their little screenshots and such that you can get here. They've got their little game videos and stuff. And I mean, like, it's fine. This isn't even showing gameplay. Do they even have gameplay in their actual footage? Yeah, this is trying to make it look better than it is, man. But look up gameplay for this thing, which I actually did, to try to see how this is running on actual like hardware, because there was a closed alpha, okay? There was a closed alpha. So I found this video here. This is Jack Frags on YouTube. And anyway, if you look at him playing, and I'm sure he's at like max settings or whatever, like it looks fine. It looks fine, but it doesn't look mind-blowing in any particular way. By the way, links to everything I talk about today will be in the description of the video. So I was like, okay, what? Why are these the system requirements? Am I unreasonable thinking that this is like stupid? Well, the thing is, in a free-to-play battle royale game, you need as wide a player base as you can possibly get. So having this kind of barrier to entry just seems insane to me. So I was thinking, well, is this just a closed alpha, so they're going to lower the system requirements as it gets better optimized? Well, I was playing around here, and I think I saw in the forums, there was a lot of discussion this. So I hopped into the discussion page, and we were seeing like people like really? Like what games actually require a 1070 for a minimum? Let me disappear out of your way here. And people are saying that, okay, well, I'm sure that you can run on a lower GPU, or I'm sure that this will be lowered, when it gets more optimized. Well, no, wait a minute. They're apparently saying that requirements used to be lower, and during the closed alpha, they were complaining about like being on a GTX 970 and getting down to 20 frames per second. And their solution after the alpha was just to raise the minimum requirements. Yeah, so their response to this being an issue is, oh, well, let's just raise the requirements. That seems good enough. Well, okay, if they don't actually solve this game's doomed. I mean, maybe it would be doomed from the start, who knows? But like, put this up against the actual like competition. Like, okay, big battle royale games, you got things like Fortnite, PUBG, there's a bunch of other ones now. But like, okay, Fortnite, you can literally play it on an Intel integrated chip, right? That's the minimum kind of system requirements that we're talking about here for a game like Fortnite. Now, something like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is, higher than that, but we're talking the recommended requirements at a GTX 1060. That's not even minimum. Recommended requirements at a 1060. That's lower than the minimum requirements that we're seeing over here for this Bloodhunt game, which seems absolutely crazy. And the minimum requirements for PUBG being down here at the GTX 960. So if you're trying to build up a gigantic player base, you can't have system requirements like these. Now, if you're curious, could the game actually run at lower settings? I did look around for gameplay footage on YouTube from the closed alpha. Now, I found somebody here who's a little bit below. He's on a GTX 1060 at 1080p and an i5 4460. And if you take a look, so that's not a terrible system at all. That's pretty decent. That's realistic. A lot of people that have a system like this. He appears to be, able to get 60-ish frames per second. He definitely drops below. We're seeing some spikes a lot lower there. But anyway, so Just kind of throwing that out there that the game's playable pretty well, it looks like, on stuff that's below the minimum requirements. Now, if you want to go super below, I actually found this guy running it on a GT 710. He's running it at 480p. And can't even maintain. Oh, my kids are noisy up there. You probably heard some noises. Anyway, but anyway, so you're definitely not going to be like running this on a GT 710 in any kind of a playable manner. Now, the other thing that's interesting to me that I'm interested about is when I look at the graphics menu, I'm hoping this would change after the closed alpha. But all I can see here is that there's a resolution setting, and you can toggle like motion blur and VSync, but it doesn't seem to have any actual graphics settings. Maybe they're going to add in graphics settings at some point to, that would be a reasonable thing to have. Anyway, I feel like this is a bit of a disaster, but if you stuck around and you're like, can I just run this game? Well, if you're curious, where does a GTX 1070 or an RX 5700 XT stack up against what you have? I recommend heading over to a site like Tech Power Up. I mean, there's other places you could do this, and I'll link this in the description to the video, where you can take a look at a graphics card and it can give you a relative performance. So if we take a look at that minimum requirement of a GTX 1070 and set that 100%, you could then scroll through and find your GPU and see how much you fall short or how much over that you get. Anyway, what do you guys think about all this in the comments section? Let me know, and I hope that you have an excellent day.